You hear about the AI gold rush all the time, right? Who's got the smartest model? Who's got the fastest code? But the real competition, it's not just about the algorithms. It's more like a high-stakes chess match being played with billions of dollars. And if you follow the money, you start to see the hidden strategies that are really shaping our future. So, that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. How is this race actually being won? Is it really just about hiring the most brilliant engineers or having some kind of breakthrough code? Well, as you're about to see, the answer is way more interesting than that.
Because look, the technology itself, the large language models, all the clever algorithms, that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's a huge piece, for sure, but it is not the whole game.
The real battle, the one that's deciding who leads and who gets left behind, is all about the capital. It's being fought with a whole web of strategic investments, massive partnerships, and big-time acquisitions. It really is all about following the money.
So let's do that. Let's uncover the strategy by tracking how the biggest companies are using their cash, and we'll reveal the logic behind every single move they make.
To do this, we're going to use this really cool tool from CB Insights called a strategy map. Think of it kind of like a corporate blueprint. It lets us see all of a company's deals, their acquisitions, their investments, their partnerships, all laid out in one place. It shows us exactly what they're prioritizing and where they're placing their bets for the future. And check this out. This strategy map for PayPal makes it so clear. You can see right away how their deals are all clustered around their main priorities, from their core e-commerce business to these newer bets they're making in things like blockchain and AI. It's literally a visual map of their playbook. Okay, so now that we know how to look at this stuff, let's actually do it. Let's use the same approach to figure out who the key players are and which industries are really running the show in the AI ecosystem right now.
And wow, this just lays it all out, doesn't it? When we map out the 50 most active public companies in AI, a super clear pattern just jumps out. The biggest pieces of the pie are infrastructure and hardware, enterprise software, and semiconductors. These are the guys building the picks and shovels for the entire AI gold rush. But here's the kicker. The top players, they are not just staying in their own lane. They are building across something called the AI stack. Just think of it like the different layers of tech, from the physical chips at the very bottom to the apps you use at the top. And get this, 8 of the top 10 are playing in at least 4 of these layers. And who's at the very top? NVIDIA. They've got investments in all 5. They're not just trying to win one part of the game, they're trying to own the entire board.
All right, this brings us to the big guns, the titans. Let's zoom in on the playbook being used by the 3 companies that are having this massive, outsized impact on the whole market.
I want you to just look at this number for a second. That's it, just one number, 48%. What in the world could that possibly be? Well, here's what it is. Nearly half of all AI mega rounds, we're talking those massive, game-changing funding deals, were backed by just 3 players: NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Google. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible concentration of capital and power. And it's not like they're just throwing money around hoping something sticks. No, they have a playbook, and it's remarkably similar for all of them. Step 1, secure the core infrastructure, the chips, the cloud compute. Step 2, back the leaders in the foundational models. Basically pick the horses you think are going to win the race. And then, step 3, fan out from there, pushing into specific applications in pretty much every industry you can think of. And this gets to such a crucial point. As the source report puts it, these funding rounds aren't just checks, they are strategic distribution deals. So what does that actually mean? It means NVIDIA's investments often require the startup to buy its hardware. A big check for Microsoft usually comes with a commitment to spend a bunch of money on their Azure cloud. They are locking in tomorrow's winners as their customers today.
So we've seen the Titans playbook, but the game looks a little different depending on where you're standing. Let's take a look at some of these industry-specific battlegrounds, where totally unique strategies are starting to pop up.
This table breaks it down perfectly. You've got enterprise software where companies like Salesforce are trying to own what's called the agentic layer. That's basically the AI agents that are going to automate business tasks for everyone. Then you have the big global consultancies like Accenture, who are repositioning themselves as the essential AI deployment partners who help clients actually use these tools. And then you look at physical AI. Think robotics and self-driving cars, and it's just, whoa. A staggering 75% of those companies are all partnering with NVIDIA. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that AI transformation is not a do-it-yourself project for most companies. When a big enterprise wants to actually put AI to work, who do they call? They call in firms like Accenture. And that makes these consultancies this incredibly critical channel to the market.
basically deciding which AI platforms get adopted by the masses. So let's pull this all together. What does all this consolidation actually mean? Well, the data shows this really clear trend. The future of AI isn't being invented from scratch by 1,000 different startups. It's being assembled. Here's the bottom line. The entire AI stack, from the silicon chips all the way up to the apps on your phone, is being meticulously put together by a very small, very powerful group of companies. Through their investments, their partnerships, and their acquisitions, they are building a kind of dominance across every single layer of this new world.
And that leaves us with this one huge, fascinating question for the future. As this foundational AI stack gets built and locked in by just a handful of giants, what new doors does that open? And who is going to be the one to build the next truly revolutionary thing on top of it all? Well, that's the next chapter in this billion-dollar chess game.